school in 1998, so 4 years. Did some externships just in Louisiana, and I graduated in 2002. By 2002, I was already married, and my husband was in the Navy, so we ended up moving to Memphis, Tennessee. So very fun. Right out of the day I graduated from vet school, I believe. So, moved to Memphis, Tennessee, and I worked in Memphis for 3 years as a small animal veterinarian. And then my husband got stationed up here in Washington. So we moved from Memphis to here, and we've been here ever since. So I love what I do. It wasn't exactly what I thought I wanted to do when I got into vet school. When I got into vet school, I thought I was going to be a mixed animal veterinarian and do large animal and small animal. And like I said, I had worked for the dairy science department for 4 years when I was getting my bachelor's, and loved it. So I was so sure I was going to do mixed animal. But once I got in, I kind of focused more on small animal, and that's where I am today. And I wouldn't change what I do for the world. I mean, I love it. Every day is something different. I've seen anything from cats and dogs mostly. I mean, probably 80% of what I see is cats and dogs. But we see hamsters, rats. I'm not really fond of reptiles. I did do a surgery on an iguana once, though. That was pretty interesting. So, you get to see some interesting things. And veterinary medicine, looking back right now, what I chose to do is probably what the majority of the veterinarians do out there, small animal medicine. But there's such a wide variety for those of you who are pre-vet. There's such a wide variety of things that you can do. I still keep in touch with most of my classmates from vet school. There were 80 of us. And we still keep in touch. And of my classmates, we have right now 2 Army vets who work for the Army. We have some vets that work for the USDA. We have 1 vet that works for the CDC. And then we have a couple of specialists. We have a couple of oncology specialists. We have an ophthalmologist in our class, a radiology specialist. We have 1 that works for the pharmaceutical industry. So she works for, I can't remember which, but she works for a pharmaceutical industry. So we have equine vets, we have large animal vets, mixed vets, and then we have the small animal vets. So there's just a wide variety of choices. We even have a couple of lab animal vets too. So wide variety of choices as far as what you do, and that's pretty much anything. If you go into pharmacy school, you can end up working for one of the pharmaceutical fields. So just about anything. There's a wide variety. My day-to-day, a little bit about kind of what I do day-to-day. Mostly what I see is appointments. So people book an appointment for a sick pet or wellness pet. I do a lot of client education, talking to them about preventive medicine. I do quite a bit of surgeries, and those surgeries can vary. Most people think that the majority of the surgeries we do are spay and neuters. Nowadays, that's probably about 1/3 of what we do, but we're seeing a lot of cancers in small animals, so I do a lot of mass removals and cancer removals, a lot of dental cleanings, so I do quite a bit of dentals. Right now, February is Dental Health Month for pets, so we've got a big promotion going on for dental health and pets. So we do a lot of dental cleanings and extractions and things like that. So day to day, it varies what I do. It's not the same thing every day. Look at my schedule, and some mornings even, what I see in the morning is not what I'm going to be doing throughout the day, because you'll get 3 emergencies that come in, So it certainly varies, and that's one of the reasons that I like it so much, is that it's not the same thing. It's not monotonous for me. I never know what's going to walk through that door, and I like that. So I certainly don't work in emergency, but if you work as an emergency animal veterinarian, it's even more varied what will walk through the door. So pretty interesting, and that's one of the reasons why I like what I do. Do any of you guys have any questions for me?
Do we tips specific to undergrads or find what we should do now to better school?
Well, first of all, and I can only speak for vet school, so I can't speak for dental school and med school, but I can assume that they're pretty much similar. One thing is you got to keep your grades up. To me, that's the most important thing. Experience for vet school is another very important thing. I know in the admissions, they're really looking to make sure that you have experience. And the third thing is your test scores. So when I was at LSU, and I'm speaking mainly from my experience, those were the three things that they really looked at. Your test scores, so, you know, GRE, VCAT, MCAT, dentistry, do you guys? Yeah, so your test scores are very important. I had, most of my experience was working with large animal veterinarians on the dairy farm. But if you want to, you know, go into small animal medicine, that's what Elisa did. Elisa worked for us. So all throughout college, she worked with us. So she started right out of high school working for us, and she worked with us all throughout college until she got to vet school. So experience was very important. And then, like I said, your grades were extremely important too. So I graduated from LSU with a 3.8, and like I said, I almost didn't get in. So, you know, it's very competitive in vet school, and it's the same thing from what I hear dental and vet school. So they're very competitive. So, any other questions? So, well, I'm done. So, if you guys, we're going to hang around for a little bit longer, so if you guys can think of some questions, please let me know. Okay? Thank you guys for coming. No problem.